What's going on, people? It's a Miz in the midday, a late edition. I'm really late to the party. A couple of days after free agency, I allowed the dust to settle. I really wanted to get on that day, but had a lot of things going on. But I have to say, I'm going to jump right into this. How excited I am. How fired up I am that we have a GM and a head coach that get it. They truly understand what's going on. They truly got what it takes to build a winning team. They're finally going back. They're going back to the Giants' history. All you got to do is look at the Giants' history. And you're going to see that the Giants were always built physical in the trenches to punish the league. And always had a 1-2 punch at running back. You don't have to have the star. And we all know that because we had a star for the last 5 years and we won nothing. You put together the 1-2 punch. You stack the O-line. The O-line and the D-line still wins football. Still wins championships in this league. Now, it's a little bit of a modern day football, so you got to have a little bit of passing, and you got to have the right quarterback for your team, the head of the foundation. Look, man, free agency day, the first thing you got right off the bat is that Barkley walked. Yo, you want to know something? I tip my cap. Barkley was a leader. Barkley wore the Giants blue with pride, and he carried himself like a class act. So I'm not going to be mad that he went to Philadelphia. Once the Giants decided they were letting him walk, and I've been telling people that it's time to let Barkley walk from like 6 months ago. So I knew that you got to let Barkley walk. I knew that you can't pay McKinney no $70 million. That's just stupid shit. That's outrageous. And I'll get to McKinney in a moment because there's some things that McKinney done that irked me the wrong way. And I'm pretty sure it irked Joe Shane and Dable the wrong way. He fucking ran his mouth too much for a man that's done nothing here. I don't care if he played every snap this year. Listen, man, let me tell you, you know what? Forget Barkley. Let's go straight to McKinney. McKinney missed 7 games last year because of a goddamn moped accident on vacation, right? Where most teams would have been so furious that they would have hammered him. He missed 7 fucking games in a good season where we were headed for the playoffs. You figure the Giants could have won 2 more of those games if they had Xavier McKinney back there. Ended up with 11 wins. But they didn't. And what did the Giants do? They paid that man every single one of his dollars for the 7 weeks that he was out due to his own injury on his own bye week on vacation. Did not get hurt on the field. Got hurt in a stupid motorcycle or whatever the heck those stupid 4-wheel things are. I don't really give a shit. That's fine. It's his prerogative on his vacation to do what he wants. Have a good time. But your ass better come back with 2 legs and 2 arms. Well, he did not. He missed 7 games. And what did the Giants do? They turn around and pay him every single dollar for all 7 weeks that he was out. Why? They were telling him, yo, you mean that much to us, and we think that highly of you as a star safety. And what does this guy do this year? He runs his fucking mouth. He throws coaches under the table, under the bus. He thinks his shit don't stink. Let alone, forget that he didn't show up for the first 8 weeks of the season, right? He was out there, but he wasn't. You could see him. He was playing 2-hand touch. He was awful. And he came on strong in the second half of the year. I guess he started smelling that it was getting close to contract time. I got to tell you. And then in the last few weeks in the offseason, he's running his mouth through Twitter at Giant fans with all these stupid tweets. Get off of Twitter, buddy. You're supposed to be above that. You're supposed to be a star young safety in the league. Carry yourself as one. Stop going back and forth with the nobodies out there. And you know what that got you? Exactly what I thought it was going to get you. A ticket out the door. And don't think that he didn't get a ticket out the door. Do not think for a second that Joe Shane didn't kick this guy in the ass right out the door. Because he went to Green Bay. He got his offer. And the reports are he came back to the Giants to see if they would match it. So clearly he still wanted to be a Giant. And guess what Joe Shane said? Thank you, but no thank you. We're good without you. Later. You want to run your mouth and act stupid? You're not going to be on the Giants. I think the Giants have proven that over the years. Right? Odell Beckham? Listen, man. Kadarius Toney, which was a total clown. And he's got 1.5 feet out of Kansas City, too. I heard that they're sick and tired of him. Look. Barkley's a class act. I'm not going to treat him the same way like that. He went out right. Yeah, he went to Philadelphia. Yeah, I'm not so happy about that. Yeah, we're going to face him twice a year. Yeah, they got a big-time team right now. But I still only see one ring in their case. And the Eagles like to buy all the other team's players because their GM doesn't know how to draft. I got news for you. The window ain't going to be open as long as you think. The Giants are closing the gap, and they're closing it real quick. Because Joe Shane is right now outsmarting the league. My man does exactly what I wanted him to do. Get rid of the toys for some beast. This guy Shane traded toys for beast on the line of scrimmage. He took the money from the running back and the safety, which are positions that you could fill in any single draft. They don't win you championships, and they're not valued in this league anymore. Safety, yeah. Running back, no. And he put them to place that the Giants have been struggling in for a decade. Offensive line and a goddamn beast. And what some people believe headed into his prime at 25 might be the best, one of the best defensive players in the entire league. And the thing about him is he's a dog. He's a leader, he's cocky, and he's got that dog leadership in him. The type of shit that intimidates other team. Brian Burns and Joe Shane under the radar. And I told people 4 days before it happened that I heard the report from Jordan Renan that the Giants were engaged with Carolina in talks for Brian Burns, and they would only give up a 2. And people left because last year the Rams offered 2 1s and Carolina turned it down. 2 1s. So you think that we're talking about a guy here that's worth at least 2 1s and maybe something else. You're talking about an edge rusher that's on a level. I mean, you're talking about a guy that's on a levels with the Bosa's and the Garrett. Okay? The Watts. That's the level this guy's on. He's only 25. And never got the publicity because he was on a horrible Carolina Panther team that was awful and that nobody's been watching. But if you did watch, you'd know he's the one guy on that team that you did not want to go up against. And now he's coming to New York City to play for the Big Blue Giants. He wanted out of there. Shane went out and got him. And Shane robbed him. Straight up. Joe Shane pulled off the robbery of the year. He took Brian Burns at 25, an elite premier edge rusher, a beast, a dog, a junkyard dog, for a 2 and a 5. And wait a minute, get this. That 2 wasn't even ours. That's a 2 the Giants got for trading Leo Williams to Seattle last season. So he traded for a monster, a beast, basically for free, brothers. And they threw in a 5 next year in the 2025 draft, which is totally irrelevant. Because looking down the road real quick, the New York Giants are going to have 9 picks in the draft next year, and it might be more, depending on what they plan to do with Daniel Jones in midseason. And as you see the way I'm speaking, I got a feeling that Daniel Jones is going to be on the trade block. So you're looking at maybe 1 or 2 more picks. Maybe a 3 and a 6. Something like that. So the Giants are going to be loaded next year. And they're going to have about $80 million in cap space. And I think that what I call a 2-year build-up to a contender. And yeah, I'll dare say it. A Super Bowl contender in about 3 years from now. And I'm not the only one. McCourty from NBC said the same thing. The Giants took a monster step in this free agency. And looking at what they have next year towards being a contender in 2 to 3 years. Have patience. Trust in Joe Schoen. Joe Schoen is doing a phenomenal job. Let the man cook. Look, some people are going to criticize that he gave the $80 million guaranteed for the first 2 years, $160 million 4 years. Daniel Jones, right? Daniel Jones hasn't lived up. A lot of it is because of what the team did. I don't want to make excuses like people think, but the team didn't do right about him. The O-line was trash. No real number 1 receiver. But check it out. John Mara wanted to do right by Daniel Jones. That contract last year was 90% from John Mara. And when your boss demands for you to do something, you do it. But what does Joe Schoen do as the GM? The smart guy that we're all turning out to see who he is. He sticks a 2-year out in that contract because he wasn't a true believer. But he did think with Mara, let's give this guy Jones a fair chance. He led the Giants to playoffs. He had a big game versus the Vikings in the playoffs. So they gave him a contract in which I believe Joe Schoen and Dable probably really didn't want to do. They probably would have wanted more to tag him for 1 year. But Mara wanted the contract. Schoen sticks in the 2-year out. Well, that 2-year out is looking tremendous right now. Daniel Jones, maybe he could be the guy behind the offensive line that Schoen has just put together finally. And I'll get into that. But he's got 2 neck injuries and a cream cheese knee. Can he come back? I'm sure he's a gym rat. I'm sure he's going to work hard. He's young. He's physical. But the injuries are real and they're concerning. And you're in a draft right now where the QB class is pretty damn talented. Regardless of what you think. Some people believe build the roster, go get the quarterback next year. Some people want their quarterback right now because they don't trust that we're going to be up there again next year. There's not as many QBs next year, but we don't know who's going to emerge in the next college season, as some always do. Look, man, I just go by what I'm seeing happening. A lot of the things I thought would happen have now happened. You gave away the sexy toys to build the O-line, the defensive edge rusher, the trenches. You went out, you got Jermaine from the Raiders. The man's a solid, real good O-lineman. He could play tackle, he could play guard. Never misses games. Right? You went and got Runyon from Green Bay. Another solid guard, never misses games, a starter. I believe last year he allowed 2 sacks and 4 penalties all year long. Never missed a game. I don't think he missed a snap even. Reliable. 4 years in the league, never missed a game. Comes from a rich O-line bloodstream where his father was a 14-year beast in the NFL and went up, had wars with Michael Strahan. We all saw it and we respected him. Strahan respected him immensely. So now you got these 2 guys that are going to start day 1. You know that your chain is now coming together. right? We always said if one or two links are broken, the entire chain is broken. But now you got an entire chain. And we're all hoping, and I still have a lot of belief that Evan Neal is going to be what we thought he was when we drafted him. I believe Evan Neal gets one more crack here to be tackled under a new O-line coach with a full offensive line. Hopefully we could stay healthy. And if it doesn't work, he'll go into guard, and you could always move Jermaine out to tackle. I think we are set up in the trenches. You look at the D-line. To quote Rich Eisen today, dominant. This Giants D-line now with Burns, Dexter in the middle, and Kayvon on the other side. Two real good linebackers in the backfield, and Okereke and McFadden. The Giants defense has a chance to be dominant in the NFL. Good luck to the NFC East. You're about to go up against some serious monsters. Who you stopping? Who you blocking? Who the hell are you doubling? Watch. The Eagles have a finesse team ready to win right now. Go ahead, go get yours. The New York Giants are building a physical beast in the trenches. Look. It don't bother me at all that Barkley's gone, because I've been saying Barkley's supposed to be gone. You move on. I don't got no sentimental value or loyalty to any player on a team that has averaged 5 to 6 wins a season for the last 8 or 9 years. You hear me? So I really don't give a shit. Odell, Barkley, don't care. Can't win with them. Haven't won with them. Right away, Shane pivots. Barkley's gone. Cool. He grabbed Singletary. Am I saying Singletary's a Barkley? No, he's not. But you know what Singletary is? He's a solid, elusive running back that hits the holes hard and never misses a game. What? What'd you say? Never misses games. Runyon, Green Bay. O-line. Never misses games. Jermaine, Raiders. Plays tackle. Can play guard. Equally as well. Both. Never misses games. Brothers. Brian Burns. Monster. Stud. Game wrecker. Even on a terrible Carolina team where he probably wanted to stay home some days or just go sit in the sauna. Never missed games. Doesn't take a snap off. Has an engine that's on fire and a tank that's full of gas. That's a dog. Doesn't take off plays. He's got an old school mentality. He's going to knock the snotties out of your nose and ears. And that's what you want. Just like Dexter. And now expect Kayvon to grow. That he has a Burns on the other side. And he's still got Azeez Ojulari, who's going to rotate as a third edge. And I think as a part-time edge, he'll be healthier. And when he's healthier, he's a dog. Banks is already proven to me he's going to be one of the top corners in the league. And the Giants are going to have to go out and find another one. There were rumors today of A.J. Dillon. I wouldn't mind having a physical, cheap running back to bang up the middle with Singletary, a 1-2 punch. Because every single time the New York football fucking Giants have gone to Super Bowls, they've had a 1-2 punch. They've had a physical O-line and a 1-2 punch. You had Brandon Jacobs and Bradshaw for 2 Super Bowls. They mixed in even a third guy, Ward. You had Tiki Barber and Charles Way for many years. In between, you had Gary Brown, a physical bull, a physical heavy bull. You want to go back further? You had Otis Anderson and a rookie Rodney Hampton in 1990. And then Rodney Hampton took over for several years as one of the top physical running backs in the league. You see what it is, right? And we haven't had that the last few years. We haven't had an O-line, and we haven't had a 1-2 punch of nothing. And here's the thing. Barkley wanted his money. And the Giants offered him the money early last year, and I guarantee you they would have regretted it, despite what the young fan base thinks. I'm sorry that you have to put that jersey away. This is not fantasy football, motherfuckers. This is real gridiron Pro Bowl NFL football. So if you want fantasy, turn on ESPN at night on a Sunday night, or go to the red zone. But a real deal fan knows that you need to grind it out blue chips to win championships. The ugly, fat, physical guys that are willing to do the dirty ass work that we've been missing in the trenches, the foundation that Joe Schoen has now built up. On both sides of the football, the Giants are very strong. Couldn't say that the last 9 years. And if you had to give up Barkley to do it, then Joe Schoen did the right thing. Early free agent first day, Barkley's gone. People were ragging on the Giants, and I admit even I was down for a moment because he went to the shit-ass Eagles. But you know what? Boy, we couldn't see the storm that Joe Schoen was cooking as the day went on. Name after name. Big time important names in the trenches. Not the guys that people that only look at fantasy are going to know, but the ones who understand football and what it takes to win. Like Devin McCourty said. Like Chris Sims said. Like many have said. Rich Eisen. The New York Giants hit a grand slam in free agent day number 1. They plugged in the scrimmages. They were willing to let Barkley go, which is a very hard thing for a GM to do. Let a star face of a franchise go that the fan base is in love with and the players in the locker room love, in order to allocate the money to the important positions to build the foundation so that the fucking losing stops and the Giants turn around and become a winning team again. He did the right thing, and he's still cooking. They bring in Locke. All right, you need a backup quarterback. Look, this is where I think the Giants are headed. There are a lot of reports, and I think they're real. The Giants are talking to the Patriots. The Patriots are not going to get a quarterback at 3, I don't think. Their roster is suffering. They want wide receivers. They were supposed to get Ridley today. It didn't work out. They lost him to Tennessee. The Patriots are looking for weapons and a couple more picks. I think they could grab a quarterback at 6 if they wanted a J.J. McCarthy. Or they wait for next year, which I'm pretty sure the Patriots are still going to be in the top 5 of the draft next year. So if they trade to 6, the Giants go to 3, which is all the reports. And the Giants and Patriots have been on the phone, and it's heating up. The Giants are going up to 3. They're going up there for one reason, and it's the same name I've been saying for a long time. His name is Drake May out of North Carolina. He fits the bill for Dable. And he has the same style, body frame, arm, and football style as Josh Allen. Am I saying he's Josh Allen? No, because clearly he hasn't played in the NFL, and it'll take 3 years to know. But a lot of people link him to a Josh Allen type. And I like the kid. The other guy is Jaden Daniels. He's an extreme talent. But I think that Washington's going to jump on him at 2. The Giants are not getting further higher than 3. And I'm not looking to give up the bank either. But because the Giants are going to have 9 to 10 picks in next year's draft, and they're not all necessary because you're going to get a comp pick at 3 for McKinney, and you should get another 3rd for Barkley. So you're looking at 9 to 10 picks. And you also have Daniel Jones. And if the Giants draft their quarterback right here and they brought in Drew Lock, you got to think that Daniel Jones with his injuries and the money, the extra $25 million, I believe, that could be owed to him if he suffers another injury during this season plays a role. Will Daniel Jones come running out of the tunnel week 1? Remains to be seen. A lot of these things play a role, but it's starting to look to me like Joe Schoen's making his move to move on. He clearly has the keys to the franchise now. Mara's not behind anything. He's sitting in the back. Joe Shane is proving that he has a hell of a plan and he knows what he's doing. Because he's making moves and he's hustling teams. And he's been doing that. The 2 and the 5 that they got for Leo, I believe. The picks he got for Clowney, Kadarius Toney 2 years ago has proven that he's taken from Kansas City. Joe Shane is a beast of a GM. He's got a hell of a plan. He understands how to build a football team in this NFL in 2024. The old school's gone, and he's got a young, modern-day, aggressive mind frame, him and Dable. So I'm sit back and trust anything Shane do. And I believe he's going to 3 to get their quarterback. And I believe the guy that's going to be there at 3 is the guy that they've been scouting heavily for the last year. That's North Carolina's Drake May. I'm still on that ship. Some people don't think he's that good. You're wrong. That guy is going to be a very good franchise quarterback, especially if you put him with a goddamn quarterback scientist guru like Brian Dable. He's going to turn Drake May into the next Josh Allen or close to it. And if you have the physical O-line, which we have now, and you get him the running back, and you could get another running back right here to mix up the stable in free agency and wait to get your running back in the draft next year. Or in the middle rounds this year, they're going to take a kid like Corum from Michigan or someone out there. We will see. It's all up to that man who's cooking up that storm. Let Joe Shane cook. Brothers, don't be crying over spilled milk. Especially when the spilled milk was already sour. And what I'm saying is, you lost Barkley. In the trade-off, you're building a real football team for once in a goddamn decade. And when I say spilled milk, it means the Giants weren't winning shit with Barkley anyway. Not saying it was his fault, but it was never going to change. It was time to move on. He's 27 years old. He's already busted his knee up once. Let him go have his 2 nice year career with the Eagles. That's fine. But we all know running backs don't last long. It's not a knock on him. But he's always missed games. And he's had injuries every single season. It is what it is. The Giants are heading in a direction that is finally visible. There's a light towards the end of that tunnel. It's been pitch dark for like 9 years, brothers. And that wild card year, I call that smoke. A little dream of smoke in that dark tunnel. But as soon as that cloud passed, you were in the pitch dark again. But right now, why this fan base is so excited? Because you can actually see what this guy is doing and this team that's being built. And if you're a true diehard Giants fan, the old school who saw some of the championship days, you can't wait to watch this defense and that front 7 get after Hurts and Dak and lay the beat down on those fucking quarterbacks. Because in my eyes, defense still wins championships. And right now, the Giants are putting together one scary D. It's about time. I'm excited. I can't wait. There's still some more free agency. The monster draft is coming, and the Giants are going to be a major factor in it. They're either going up to get their QB, or they're going to sit in 6 and take a QB that falls, or even one of those receivers. And I know a lot of Giant fans feel the same way. Malik Neighbors is a rare beast. Man looks like an alien on a field. To me, he looks like Odell Beckham with Hakeem Nicks' body. And that should tell you a lot. I'm a guy who loves Bowers. You guys know I've done a video. I would love to have a Bowers also. I think he's an atomic weapon that can also block. So you'll only be putting another major brick on your O-line, who can line up anywhere on a field, slot, wide receiver. There's a lot of things cooking. You still got your second, your third. And you know what? Looking ahead to next year, you're going to have about 10 picks and $80 million in cap space. Brothers, I can't wait. I'm excited to share it with you. For all the good, all the bad years we've gone through, all you content creators out there, it's about to turn up. The times are about to turn real good. And maybe we all going to get to enjoy it together. Yo, the Giants owe us about a decade of good to great football. And I think it's coming. We're probably one more year and one more draft away after this one. 2025. The Giants start a very long run under a very healthy regime. I'm the Miz.